Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Bitcoin Lounge on Saz Analytica channel. This is your host, Joe Saz, and we're going to be hanging out for a little bit. Today is a beautiful day, so I'm going to go step outside and smoke a cigar while I get some screen share active, and we can all talk in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. So you guys, this is a straight up AMA. New friendly, pop in. There's literally nothing that I won't answer to the best of my ability. Nothing's redundant. Don't care. We're here to have a good time, and I'm just going to be chilling, smoking a cigar. So literally, you have nothing to lose if you ask a question. So join me. And before we get into that, I'll just take a quick look. This little horizontal is supported bottom end of our channel. We established a little while back. Nothing to see on CME gaps, and looks like the daily 50 is losing the fight, but still close, still there wrestling. Oh, whoops, don't need to do all that. All right, so let me grab a cigar, get set up outside, and I hope you guys are gonna join me because I'll just be smoking a cigar bored by myself if you don't. Let's see, who do we have already? And don't need volume. All right, well, hoping to see you guys in just a bit. I'm getting set up anyways to go smoke a cigar. Oh yeah, let me get this out to my Telegram channel. And Twitter. All right, cool. Probably could do a better job with how I present my comments. All right, I'll see you guys outside in a sec. I'm grabbing a cigar right now. What do we smoke? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? You're feeling pretty good. Cool. See you in a sec. Looks like we're in and getting screen share down to exit full screen. All right, and where are we? All right, well, we're chilling. Got a couple people in here. Say what's up. You guys say what's up. I'm here to help you guys. Here gonna answer some questions. I noticed this cigar is this wrapper's cracked up. I might need a different cigar. To anyone who may be new to this channel, the Bitcoin Lounge is basically my chill time where I smoke a cigar, answer whatever questions you may have, and yeah, we just get to have a good time. These shows used to last 6 hours or so sometimes. And speaking of that, I used to trade a lot more. So I'm probably going to start trading, just looking for a nice exchange. I'm currently in a long, but once I find a nice exchange, maybe I'll be back to the hardcore stream life. We'll see what happens. So speaking on price and the SEC stuff and Richard Hart, you guys been in the space for a long time. I see right through this stuff. When and look what just happened. The Ripple, which is one of the nastiest of all the crypto scams, is off the hook. That should tell you guys that this is all political theater, or whatever you want to call it. Political theater, for lack of a better phrase right now. It's I mean, it's very clear that this is all just, to me, it's just very clear that if I was a whale, I was a billionaire and I had homies, and look, in this day and age, we know more and more that media can be bought and stuff like that. What's up, Boston? Good to see you, my friend. We know that media is something that can be bought and all that, right? I mean, look, that's how they make money. Give them money and you probably get a favor. If I was a billionaire and I was able to just say, hey, I wanna accumulate some shitcoin X. All I gotta do is tell my assistant, hey, tell this other person in our, network to write an article, and or tell our friend at the SEC that, this is low-hanging fruit and we need to write an article about it. I mean, what logically happens next? People catch wind. The space is very volatile. We've known this ever since the beginning. You look at any crypto chart dating back to its inception, volatility is just an absolute baseline of the space. So yeah, I think it's important to note that we're going to be getting pushed and pulled, and narratives are going to go running, and people just need to not lose their shit. It's pretty simple. If people don't lose their shit, then it makes it harder for manipulators to manipulate. But as far as I'm concerned, all they need to do is just throw a little bit of shade at something, and there's enough people on the edge of their seat. It's a wild space. There's a lot of hope, a lot of people that are, effectively going for the gold mine, kind of, what's it called, like the gold rush type fortune. Grab a shovel, go to the west, make it big. That's crypto. Cryptos are modern day gold rush.
That's the emotion on the good side. So imagine the emotion then multiplied by on the opposite by by a negative number, right? So you have emotion 10 times a -1, -10. So you have people that are just extremely FOMO-y in the space, extremely hopeful, and that hope on the flip side is fear. It's easy to manipulate these types of psychologies. Fear is probably the easiest, and I guess that word kind of plays on both ends of the spectrum: fear of losing and fear of missing out. MD Junior, what's up, man? One big move. Probably, you know, this SEC, like that's the interesting question, because I'm sure days ago I was saying within the next few weeks. I still think that that's the answer, but it's curveballs like this that really wake you up to the fact that you're never in control. All it takes is one, and look what happened to price of, Hex, down massively. And I don't even know what other Richard Hart tokens are actively trading, and have good trade history and so forth. But we have one news article come out, and then we have a massive price dump. We have XRP news come out, and then we have, I think we looked at a chart together. It was a pump and dump. It makes you realize that you're not really at all in control of the market. I still think that it's within the next few weeks, because look, the sellers are just kind of washed out. I don't think anyone really wants to be selling right now. I don't think anyone thinks in their head that, oh shit, Bitcoin's going lower, so I must sell now. Or even Bitcoin could go lower. You know, Bitcoin will go lower. It's like, that's one thing. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're choosing a bias. You're not sleeping well because you're so concerned about your trade. That's one thing. But the another thing is just doesn't really seem like anyone wants to sell. We've had so many freaking straight red candles, even recently. Yeah. So anyways. Uh didn't get a vibrating pillow from Bybit, unfortunately. Nope. I'm also off the grid compared to where I used to be. So yeah, I haven't seen nothing. I don't really know who's trading on where. I probably Austin A, US government's supposed to sell the rest of their Silk Road Bitcoin this year. You know how much it is? If I had to guess, you know what, I can't guess. And how much does the US have? Yeah, how much does the US have, and why? I don't know who's trading where anymore. A year ago, 2 years ago, yeah, a lot of people were trading Bybit, but I don't know who's trading there now. A lot's changed in the past little while. Yeah, a lot has changed in a very short period of time. I want to say like 4 billion. It's a lot. It's a lot. 4 billion. They need to like run the Sailor bot to dump all that. I'm not so sure that would be easy. And I'm not so sure now's a great time, but that could be the Black Swan event type sell-off. Um, living through as many wild market runs down as I have, 10,000 to 3,000. Well, actually, it was like 14,000 to 3,000, 20,000 to 3,000, 70,000 to 14,000. Handful of small runs. Living through as many of those as we have, I like to wonder what the next Black Swan event is going to be, because it's always a Black Swan event that causes that. And what's up, Mo Bizarri? What's up, my friend Austin? They sold 20% in March. They got 80%. It's not important. The pillow is just funny. Look it up. Marco, no, I'm not talking about Sailor selling. I'm just saying that they would need to run something like a Sailor bot to sell that much liquidity. You need to have a plan, a good way to sell. You can't just dump billions of dollars worth of crypto on the market. You need, probably a lot of it's in auctions, which they've done in the past. Isn't that how Draper got rich? He bought some Bitcoin out of a like some sort of US government auction. Yeah, the Sailor bot, for everyone's knowledge, is Michael Saylor, I believe, announced that the way his MicroStrategy purchases massive sums of Bitcoin is to buy a little bit, like $1,000 every second or something like that. Let's say they want to accumulate $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Let's say it's 100 million worth of Bitcoin. What they're going to do is run a tick. Every second they buy another 1,000, or every 2 seconds they buy 1,000. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent massive slippage, right? If you run that bot for a couple days, for the most part, Bitcoin's going to be doing its normal market behaviors. Obviously, strong pressure to the upside for, let's say it's $100 million until the tick starts until when it ends. But that's still upward pressure, just not in a massive way that will leave a liquidity pool to sweep all the way back to the downside. It's just going to be constantly creating market pressure, and sellers can be selling and buyers can be buying, and it's mostly going to go unnoticed. So that's what, when I say Sailor bot, that's all I'm referring to. I don't think Michael Saylor's going to sell. He may sell an all-time high. Uh, I certainly think that's possible. Is Michael Saylor a true believer in Bitcoin? Yes. Is he going to sell to make some money? I mean, why not? Why? I mean, even as a true believer, why wouldn't you sell if you've 10x your money and Bitcoin goes from 30,000 to 300,000? Let's say his average entry, I think, and which is also true, is 30,000. Bitcoin goes to 300 and he's up massive amounts, and yeah, maybe you should sell a little bit and buy that freaking island, and and stockpile some freaking goods for the end of the world, who knows? But yeah, Saylor is a true believer, and I don't think he's going to sell Bitcoin to manipulators who are trying, like, to BlackRock. He's not trying to sell Bitcoin to BlackRock, is my point. Austin A, I think Saylor learned his lesson last cycle. He will probably sell this time. Yeah, I also like that statement and believe it to be at least partially true. I mean, he has been in the space for a while. I remember when he came in, I started calling him the overnight OG, and he was doing poetry type shit and making a lot of Bitcoin sense, really, really singing to the community. So Michael Saylor, yeah, he wrote it. He wrote it, and look, he was down pretty big. I think he's a smart dude. I personally think it's wise to buy Bitcoin and hold. But look, you guys, sometimes you got to take some money off the table. And if you're a good trader, you take a good portion of that off the table. Coast for a while, We know this, we know the pattern. It takes 6 months, 8 months, a year for a bull market to really swing and go nasty. It takes 3 years for a Bitcoin bull market to a bear market to go from an all-time high, probably to a bottom, probably to a some sort of accumulation again. It's really long, slow process to ride out a bear market. Really got to prepare for 3 years. So I would think it's wise to have that outlook. fiat look to make a bank, take profit, coast for 3 years, make sure you have some dry powder to buy a low, and then bam, you have more corn than you started with. And that's always the goal, isn't it? Have more corn, accumulate more corn. Get that corn, baby. So what else you guys thinking about? What do you guys got going on? Tell me. Yep, life is beautiful. Yeah, I kind of miss the days when I used to be smoking cigars. We'd be chilling, and there was a lot more stuff going on, a lot more to talk about, you guys, a lot more to talk about. I miss those days. I miss my cigar lounge. That was fun. I used to smoke a lot of cigars though. Holy shit. Probably probably better to smoke outside in the sun anyways. Get a tan. So what else in the Bitcoin world? We got Coinbase saying that they got a notice from the SEC saying everything other than Bitcoin is a security and they're not giving reason why. I just, like we've seen that happen so many times as well. We've seen that whole argument. We've seen that whole debate. What's a commodity? Is it a commodity? Is it a security? Is it money? Uh, yeah, we see this happen far too often, this type of debate. And I think all it's doing is trying to shake the market. They're they are definitely incompetent, but it's like, I mean, wouldn't you want the government to appear to be incompetent instead of insidious? I think it's important for them to be throwing some shit at the wall, see what sticks. Throw some freaking pasta noodles at the fridge, see if they stick. And in the meantime, just shock the market over and over and over again. If it's a rinse repeat formula and you're in the top of the world, let's say you're a trader trading with $100 and you're able to recognize a channel. Channel pops to the top, pops to the bottom. Aren't you going to do the same thing? If you could play a trade over and over and over again that worked, wouldn't you? That's all these guys are doing. They have more power, they have more influence, and they can shape the media narratives. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. Another interesting thing of note, Coinbase, BlackRock, it seems like they are going to team up. So a lot of this SEC stuff feels to me like it's completely insignificant. If the SEC is throwing shade at Coinbase and BlackRock owns everything, then what is it actually? It's not really anything to fear, knowing deep down inside that BlackRock is going to be doing their business with Coinbase. So, yeah, I don't see much to fear. Yo, what's up, Cass? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. We're just chilling here, man. Chilling, talking, bored. Price has done some things, but I'm not trading with leverage, so it's not the same excitement. I don't think Sailor sells unless he comes under pressure and doesn't have much choice. Big ugly. Well, all right. Let's play that one out. I don't know about all his contracts with all the Bitcoin he owns, but I'm pretty sure they were 5-year contracts. I don't think, you know, I think he did that for a reason. I think he knew that in the next 5 years something was going to happen, and he's no genius. We all do. Every 5 years something happens. 2017, 2020. We're probably due for one next year. I think he timed it. Uh, yeah, big ugly, all good. I'm down to repeat myself, and to be honest, we haven't been talking about much. It's been a little slow. Lounges ain't what they used to be. Let's see. Here's some new rumors about CRV, liquidations, etc. Who was an exploit. I don't know who CRV is, but I do think that the SEC is using media to manipulate the price for it, and at the whim of the whales. I do truly believe that. And so whatever it is, Richard Hart's tokens, Ripple, um, whoever's next, I fucking scan token, world token. You know, you guys, they're all just gonna keep repeating the same formula. If you're in a channel and you can trade the top and bottom perfectly every single time, you would take those trades. They're doing nothing different except they're able to control the flow. And like looking at this Richard Hart SEC stuff, didn't they go after his influencers not long ago? CRV Curve Finance DeFi exploit yesterday. Okay. Yeah. How many DeFi exploits have there been? Probably at least 3, 4 public ones that I'm thinking about that were like really, really big. Um, cool. I'll take a look, but yeah. Um, okay, so there was a exploit on some freaking smart contract shit. Yeah. That's probably one of the interesting things about why I think Bitcoin is more secure. They don't really dive into something new without massive testing. What Bitcoin Mechanic was talking about was that sometimes it's like 10 years for an idea. And it might not necessarily be an idea that's specific to blockchain, but like Schnorr signatures or something, for example. It's like some of these things can take many years and they fall out of popularity, and then someone researches like, that thing again, and then it comes back to the forefront, and then everyone's going nuts about it. And that's kind of why I think Bitcoin is so much more secure than a lot of these things. You never hear about that stuff. The thing is, we're analysts. We don't like coincidences. I if I see these things happen time and time again, why would I think, oh, it's just a coincidence again and again and again, when looking at the whole situation, someone came out of that with a lot of money, most likely. So wouldn't it make sense that some of these things are just by design, you know? Maybe not by design, but it's like someone sees an opportunity and takes it. I mean, dude, it happens so many times. Um, so many rug pulls. Remember when DeFi first came out? All those swap tokens, people were getting rich and poor in an hour, bouncing up and down. It was just stupid. Um, Yeah, you gotta be real lucky on some of this new stuff. And maybe it is why there's weird price action, and maybe it is why there's things going on, outside of Bitcoin. Just remember that this is the time where everyone should be planting seeds. I know that we're Bitcoiners, Bitcoin maximalists, but the truth is, tokens, shitcoins are going to do their runs. And if you have a handful, 5, 10 shitcoins that you expect to do a run in the bull market, which have probably done a run every other bull market, no, to be honest, no one's going to hate you. And this is a time when, all right, Bitcoin, they've been trying to shake Bitcoin out. They've been trying. It's going sideways at 30,000 plus or minus dollars, and they can't knock this thing down back to the low 20s. So why don't we start picking at altcoins? It's altcoin season. Let's start freaking shooting them down and doing what we can, right? That's just the formula. So, yep, you just gotta watch the leaves, man. They this market is filled with so many technical analysts. And look, call it technical analysis, call it fundamental analysis, but there's also the analysis of just the world, the psychology of markets, the ebb and flow of money. That's neither technical or fundamental, really. That's just general analysis. And if you see a pattern, I don't care if it's flipping a coin. You see a pattern that has a repeat, a success rate that you can repeat, then play it, and look, it's probably going to be smart. BTC volatility index at an all-time low. Yeah, probably that sounds about right. It sounds about right. I believe it. I think I'm pretty sure if you look at any of these volatility indexes, they would all probably be pointing at the same thing. Fear is probably low. Fear is probably very low. Greed is probably, I mean, I would say it's got to be some sort of neutral. Typically, those types of things have fear and greed on either end of the spectrum. But I would say, look, it's just an accumulation. There's no fear, there's no greed. Yeah. I don't really look at those though, Bitcoin volatility indexes. I used to look for everything I could that made sense. And yeah, it makes sense. But I mean, a Bitcoin volatility index is also just Twitter. But then you can get a black swan event, something can happen. I don't think we're gonna get a black swan event until Bitcoin goes higher though. I think Bitcoin's gotta go much higher, then we'll get our black swan event. We're really not that far off the bottom, the bear market bottom. We're up double. I mean, it would make a lot more sense to pound the market after letting it ride. So I think a lot about black swan events. It's probably about one or two of them a year. And FTX is one. So in a 1 year period, we've had one that really shook the market. We've had a couple of FUD busters come out. We've had, Binance scares, we've had lender BlockFi's, Galaxies, SEC lawsuits, a lot of things that really could have shaken the market very hard, but they didn't. They just absolutely did not. Um, so Cash Bundy, the SEC, hey, get out of here, buddy. SEC told Coinbase to delist everything except BTC. Is that maybe a confirmation for the ETF? I think the ETF is just news, and I don't think it matters until it happens. And when it happens, it probably won't matter. I don't think the ETF matters at all. I think the notice of delist everything is what I was kind of saying earlier, that it seems like they can't shake Bitcoiners up anymore. It seems like 30,000 is the price. No one wants to sell. Things are doing well. No sellers left to sell. Price goes up. There's literally no sellers left to sell. And the market psychology, as you can see in the price, is so obviously supporting that theory. Now, what do you go after? Well, shitcoins. Even though they're down 95% from all-time highs, 90%, 97%, 95, 85, whatever you want to call it, they're all over the place. Well, guess what? We can shake them out for another 10% relative to the all-time high in some cases, or maybe another 15% from where they sit now, push them to new lows, really shake them up. Yeah, it's pretty wild what you can do. And if you're prepared for it, if you've set up altcoin bags over the past year, then whatever you have accumulation, in accumulation zone ready to absorb those cells, then watch 3 months of this shit, 2 months of this shit coins fall. They're gonna pump and dump on the daily. They're gonna do 50% moves down, 100% moves up, da, 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 da. And guess what? People, very wealthy people that can control the media are going to be making absolute frick tons of money. And even more, they're going to be probably holding on to a lot of those shit coins. And they're going to sell probably sometime next winter after Bitcoin goes to 250 plus K. And then 2 weeks after its all-time high, the altcoins start to, rip their all-time highs. And then these guys start to cap price, and they've been capping price all the way up. So they're part of the ceiling. They cap the price at its all-time high. They sell, probably create some of the first massive wicks down, and make make 10, make 100x their money on altcoins. All the love in the world to Bitcoin, as we know, but Bitcoin probably is done with even 10x moves to the upside. Your biggest swingers are probably going to be altcoins if you're a trader. So your best bet as a, let's say, someone that doesn't really care about anything other than just making the money, traders, myself included. Uh, I do obviously care about Bitcoin though. But think about it. All they need to do is hold their bags. We know the formula, and we know that altcoins will go down way further than Bitcoin goes down in a bear market. We do know that percentage wise they'll go up way higher than Bitcoin does in a bull market. So it's a very obvious idea. It's not an original idea. It's one that's been tried and true, tested repeatedly every single market cycle. Probably one of the only ones that doesn't do all-time highs is Ripple, because they're selling against their bag holders 1 billion tokens a month every month. And probably locking up a lot of that Ripple back into their escrow wallet. It isn't a free market, is my point. It isn't a scarce asset in the midst of a free market. It's a controlled asset in a free market. So yeah, I just think it's too obvious, the formula right now. And being that we're analysts, we should be able to look outside the charts and see this pretty cookie cutter formula that we've seen so many times before. It's playing out again. It's going to play out again. Altcoins are going to probably go up 1,000x, depending on the right one, 10,000x, 100x. Going to see all those ranges. I'm sure you can launch a token right now and make people scan their eyes, and I'm sure you'll make it make money. I mean, look, and we're still probably a year and a half, maybe like a year and change out from Bitcoin legit, maybe a Bitcoin new all-time high. Probably a year and change from a new Bitcoin all-time high. So just be patient, guys. Don't get washed out. Whatever your long-term plans are, make sure you understand the big picture, because as much as you may be able to withstand a long-term goal in Bitcoin, in crypto, and investing, people with way more money than you can stand a lot longer. They can chill. They can see their money go red because they probably have a lot more assets. They probably have a lot more power, control, and influence. So people like that can sit underwater and laugh. In fact, it's the statement from Baron Rothschild, this quote: buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. They can do that. Most people can't. Most people will have to sell. Most people will have wives that are saying, "Oh, you've lost everything. Fuck you." And then the husband is fucking losing his shit, doesn't have the cool to say, "Hey, look, we need to wait a year." And bam, now you got a family that sold their retirement money into crypto and it went down to zero. Happens. Yo, what's up, Mexican Hasselhoff? Good to see you, brother. Chilling, man. Smoking a cigar, sunny day, talking crypto, talking the lounge talk. Miss you guys. I miss the good old days when we used to be able to fucking just smoke cigars for 6 hours and have shit to talk about. I used to what? I think when I first started the lounge, I would smoke one cigar and end it after a cigar. And then maybe a week or two into that, it turned into like, oh fuck it, I'll smoke one more cigar. We got some people here. Next thing you know, it turned into freaking like 6 hour, 8 hour stream days. Honestly, there's days where I could do that, play some video games and keep the stream rolling, keep the questions going, just keep the chat up. What's up, Bitcoin Motors? But yeah, I'm getting back into stream. We'll figure it out. I'm figuring out how to do these YouTube shorts and edit my videos and cut out little 30-second, 1 minute segments, make them YouTube shorts, push them around the internet. Yeah, Daniel Sternthal. Thank you. I'm happy. I like, I do like when I was sitting around bored all day, like things were fun, don't get me wrong. I was going shooting a lot. I was smoking cigars and, you know, chilling with my son. But it's important to keep doing stuff. And lately I've been on top of streaming, I've been learning a lot about AI and AI art and video editing, and now I can make myself look like a complete robot and stuff like that. Yeah, I still got my status signals on right now. When is Tether gonna die? Yeah. So, anyways, my point is, guys, it's like it's always good to be doing something with your time. More men, we need to build. Joe, what do you think the odds are we duck down to 28K quickly? Well, they looked pretty strong earlier. Look, we had a massive collapse overnight yesterday, something like that, came down to low 29,000s. So I'm not going to take that off the table, but look how much support there is in the book right now. Massive, massive static walls in the book. It's possible, but I think right now more likely there aren't as that many sellers, John. Big time mindset. If no one wants to sell, why are we dumping? Why we are suppressed? Someone knows something. You know, that's a good question. It could I think we got a little bit of the answer today with the SEC going after Richard Hart. And I think the answer to all this is Bitcoin is probably not easy to farm anymore for these big rich dudes to use news articles to fuck price. And so now they're gonna have to go after the alts. And so I think Bitcoin should start to be a little more in the clear. Maybe susceptible to wider market FUD, but for the most part, I think they can't do much to go after Bitcoin right now. Um, so I just think it's that simple, man. Still got your Saz signals, Mexican Hasselhoff. Yeah, they're up right now. No signals to trade. Maybe there was something down there in that wick down. I probably have to drop the time frame a little bit to see specifically what there was. There's probably something. We're gonna lose the 50-day. Yeah, John, that is correct. The 50 days, we're wrestling with it right now as we speak. You know what? I might have been looking at the 50 on the 4 hour. But it's definitely, I do recall it's looking like it's a fight right now. Let's see here. You still got your set, yeah. And when's Tether? Tether's probably going to be around a long time. I think there's it's like, I think there's a couple people in the world that are rich enough to have escape velocity, and Tether's one of them. People behind it, big early Bitcoiners. So I think Tether's safe, at least for a while. Tether's safe for a while. I used to think it was going to die. Now I just don't think it will. I think shitcoins are likely to die before Tether